Hi there, my name is Trevor Thomas, and welcome to another edition of the Spotlight Interview Show. I've got with me an amazing person. We just finished her app. We also just finished a standalone website for her app, and it's an amazing app called the Magnificence Mentor. And her name is Sue Paulson. So why don't you say hi, Sue?
Hey, hi everybody. It's great to be here, Trevor.
Thank you. I'm really glad to talk to you. I mean, I've been talking to you for the last few weeks anyway, just kind of working on your projects, and I've been a part of the design of your app almost from the beginning. So it's been fun seeing it go from start to finish and finally be up and launched. And yeah, so I wanted to ask you a little bit about your app. If you could maybe just tell the people listening what your app is and what excites you about it.
Oh, sure. Thanks, Trevor. It's been quite a labor of love, actually. The focus of the app is primarily magnificence. And the idea comes from the notion that I have that everyone is born magnificent. We just forgot. We just didn't know. And so in the quest for personal growth or growth in general, I think lots of people don't realize that they can start from a position of magnificence instead of a position of lack. So that's the focus of the app. And of course, the main goal, once you tap into that magnificence, is then to just keep figuring out how to live better and better your brand of heaven on earth, which I think is a pretty worthy goal.
I think that's amazing. That I really like the idea of starting from a place of magnificence instead of feeling like you have to work towards that, which I kind of feel like most people feel like they start somewhere and then that has to be their goal as opposed to their starting point.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, as we know, if we start from a position of lack, you reach a little plateau and you say, oh, but I'm not quite there yet. And then you try to go higher. Well, I'm not sure you ever get there starting from lack. But if we start from, wow, I'm pretty magnificent. Now, what am I going to do with that? Then it opens up different doors.
That's fantastic. So you've been a coach and a practitioner in the, I don't know what industry you would say you're in, personal growth, maybe self-development. For a while. At what point did you come up with the idea of becoming a magnificence mentor and helping people find that in themselves?
You know, in the evolution of personal growth, because you're right, I've been in this arena for lots of years. Well, strangely enough, the idea of magnificence and the idea for creating your brand of heaven on earth evolved out of a near-death experience I had, where I actually experienced the other side. And of course there, the magnificence of everyone on the planet was pretty plain and clear. And of course, heaven's a pretty cool place. And I'm thinking, well, do we have to wait? I don't think so. So that's how it all came to be. So I have this unshakable knowing of this magnificence that we are, and this huge belief that it's possible to have that in every minute of every day if we choose.
Mm-hmm. So it's about finding the magnificence in yourself that's already there and then creating heaven on earth right now.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think we kind of figured out how to create little bits of hell. So
yeah, I'd say that's true. How has what you've, that experience that you had and the path that you've gone down of becoming a mentor and a coach around this subject, how has that altered you?
Oh, wow. Well, of course, there's that old saying about you teach best what you most need to learn, right? So while I'm talking to everybody else, of course, I'm talking to me, and once in a while I even listen to me. so it just reinforces my own development. And of course, this launching into this big world of technology in the way I have, I used to joke about myself as the low-tech tool in the high-tech shed. Well, I'm not sure I can claim that title anymore. Because, I mean, you guys have made it phenomenally easy for me to just kind of slide into this whole tech stuff, and which I was totally scared of for lots of years. But I've learned, and it's just easier than it ever used to be. And so now maybe I'm kind of a little tech savvy instead of the low tech tool.
Yeah, in fact, I'd say you're almost ahead of the curve at this point. I mean, apps are sort of a new growing technology, and while there's a lot of big companies that have them, there's not a lot of individuals that have apps for their own businesses and practices and stuff. And you're sort of leading the charge there with your own custom app, which is pretty amazing to go from not being a technology person to now being one of the leading people in that industry.
Well, I like that, and actually, I've had a great deal of fun with it, really, and it made such sense because, of course, when most of my work in personal growth has been in a relatively small pond, and there's a big wide world out there, and our world is, people are suffering, and through this magic of mobile apps, we have this amazing opportunity to connect with people we may never see face to face, but who are yearning and looking and searching for something that's going to take them to the next best place they can be.
Mhm.
And I couldn't do it. I'm only one person, but with this technology, wow, the doors open, and I'm just, it's in some ways it's unimaginable to me what can happen next, and yet I'm so excited to see what happens next with it.
It still amazes me. I went to Liberia a few years ago, and people over there had smartphones and were handing out their Facebook profiles and things like that. And I'm still friends with a few of them. Like,
Sure.
you can find people all around the world. Like, if you've got an app or a way to connect with them online, you can connect with anyone pretty much anywhere these days, which is an amazing thing.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
So
And they can even translate into their own language too if they want to.
yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty amazing. So speaking about your app, we want this to kind of be a bit of a teaching tool for people. And I wanted to ask you, how do you plan on using your app to help you grow your business?
Well, the possibilities for visibility, first of all, are really, really strong, because I think I guess I used to promote myself the way pretty well all other speakers and authors and so on promoted themselves. You kind of got the word out to the local community and went to business mixers and just talked to as many people as you could and sent out notices and emails. And if you had a workshop, you promoted it however you did.
Yeah.
And I find that now, but the challenge with that is it takes a long time to build a base, to build a platform of people who say, wow, let's try her on. So this opportunity through the app is to then build the base, build the fan base, if you will, of people who say, wow, we like her, and we're interested in what she has to say, and we're learning some stuff. So these people then can spread the word for me, where I don't have to do all of that kind of heavy lifting. Then the app does that for me, and then I can just, so it becomes really an essential tool in my toolkit of promoting who I am and what I have to offer. And of course, I'm the one that has to deliver the goods, like it's on me. The app can't do that, but the app can support me in a really essential way that I'd never tried before. So it's pretty amazing to have it.
That's amazing. So for the people that are watching this video, do you have an ask from them? Like what would you like them to check out, or you know, in order to find out more about you and to support you and what you're doing with your Magnificence Mentor project?
Oh, for sure. Well, of course, I'd love them to check me out. Either, probably the easiest way is the new website you created for me, for the yourmagnificencementor.com,
Mm-hmm.
because it features the app on there, and you can push a button. They can push a button and download either through Google Play or the Apple Store. Can download the app right then and there, and check it out and see what there is. There's lots of information on there. And then, of course, the help that it would be to me is if you like what you see and you have people in your tribe that would love to, that you think could benefit, then spread the word, because that's how we get information that we wouldn't have access to otherwise, is people share good stuff that they come across. So it's that sharing, and if you feel it's valuable, then please share what you see.
Absolutely. And I love that people can just download your app, check out some of the cool things you have there and find out more about you, you know, on their phones, which is something that everyone has with them. Can you share a piece of inspiration or wisdom from your own work that you would want to leave people with that are watching this, so that, you know, they have something to take away from this interview that's about you?
Absolutely. Well, I think in the course of looking at how it is that you like to grow as a person, one of the most important things to focus on is your assessment of whether or not you are your own best friend. And because let's face it, if you think about what you would do and what lengths you would go to for your best friend, that's pretty long, isn't it? Pretty far that we would go to our best friends. And they're in any kind of a need or whatever, or they're feeling downtrodden and need lifting up, well, we'll go the extra mile to do that. The question is, though, would we do that for ourselves? So one of the ways that I like to, this was an old exercise that was given to me years and years ago, to tap into who you really are as your own best friend, is to write a list of 100 things that you like about yourself. Now, if I said, okay, I want you to write a list of 100 things you don't like about yourself, probably take you 5 minutes. Well, for some people, a list of 100 things you like about yourself might take 5 weeks.
Yes.
And I tested this out with my university students, and sure enough, they whined and complained about having to do this exercise. And yet when they were done, because of course it's not a test, you can get help. So you ask your other best friends, well, what do you like about me?
Yeah.
And you know, what's so fascinating is not only will they give you one thing, they might give you half a dozen things. Well, good, you add them to your list. And by the time you're done 100, of course, everybody has way more than 100 things to like about themselves, but you've got a pretty clear idea of exactly why you should be your own best friend.
I love that. That is such a fantastic exercise and such a great message to treat yourself like you were your own best friend. And I love that. I got to do an exercise way back when where I would ask other people what they liked about me. And then I would sort of write down the common answers. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, so these people see me as this way. And it turns out that that's my skill set that I didn't even know that I had. But it was a pretty amazing activity. I'm gonna do this activity for myself. I'm gonna write down 100 things about myself and see what I come up with, because it's such a great idea.
Oh, for sure. And every time you get stuck, then you just think of someone that you know, send me a text. I'll give you a bunch.
That's perfect. Yeah, and on that, I would almost say, think of things you like about other people, because more often than not, those are the same things that you like about yourself. You just didn't know it.
Well, this is the thing, because you wouldn't recognize it in another person if you didn't also have it in yourself.
Exactly.
So you're absolutely right that all the attributes from somebody else, well, guess what? You have that too, because you saw it. So good.
Thank you so much for sharing this with us and for interviewing with me today. It's been really fun talking with you about your app. I'm going to share a link to your website, yourmagnificencementor.com, and the place where people can get your app, and that way people can find out more about you. And is there anything you would want to end on?
Well, I think I would just encourage, if anybody's watching and you're curious about finding out about expert apps and whether or not it's for you, then they need to get in touch with you, Trevor, and Robert, and have a conversation, because it's probably the best money I've invested in my business in a long while. And also, it's been the most affordable. So I can't say enough good about it. And working with the App Bros team has been just stellar. So hey, if anybody's interested, it's worth a conversation for sure.
Thank you very much. I'm going to add that to my list of things. That's very kind of you.
Oh, my pleasure. Absolutely. Well, you guys have made it so easy for me, and I've had such fun that I just want, more people to join in.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sue. It's been great talking to you about your app. And for anyone listening, just keep checking out this same place that you found this. We're going to keep adding more and more interviews of people that are building their apps as we go along. So thank you for watching.
Wonderful.